Today, we will be reading the Murli of 28th June 1977. Let me share the screen. Title of the Murli is Do Not Waste Anything and Reduce Your Weight. In this Murli, Baba is talking with us as a Ruhani dietitian, and he's telling us that how with time the seva is changing, and by changing time how we can make ourselves powerful so that we can serve through our drishti by having a benevolent feelings and a powerful stage. And to make such stage, Baba is giving us some techniques that two things are required to become instrumental for such seva. First one is by paying attention and do not wasting anything anywhere. And second one is to reduce weight, not of body, but of the burden of the soul. We have to reduce weight of the mind. So let's start with the Murli. The stage of being beyond sound is when you are in your incorporeal stage. And the angelic stage is where the language of signals is used to a greater extent. That is, there is movie. The stage of being beyond sound is when you are in your incorporeal stage. And the angelic stage is where the language of signals is used to a greater extent. There is movie. So, in both stages, there is no sound like there is in the corporeal world. In both the stages, there is no sound as in the corporeal world. So, do you enjoy the stage beyond sound? Even greater than listening and speaking through words is to be serving souls through your attitude, vision, vibrations, and influence of your own elevated experience. Even greater than listening and speaking through words is to be serving souls through your attitude, vision, vibrations, and influence of your own elevated experience. That is, to relate knowledge, to give the introduction, and forge a relationship. Have you experienced this? Just as you are experienced in forging a relationship through words, similarly, if you were to receive directions to serve souls through your attitude, vision, and influence of your experience, would you be able to do it? This we need to ask, that as we are serving through our words, if we receive directions to serve through our attitude, vision, and influence of our experience, can we do it? Or are you able to serve through words? Are you only able to serve through words? Just as you become instruments, number-wise, through words in enabling souls to forge a relationship with the Father, in the same way, using your subtle stage, your stage of a master almighty authority and a master son of knowledge, are you able to enable souls to experience their own stage and a relationship with the Father through the powerful atmosphere? vibrations and connections with your form of power. As time is coming closer, the influence of the Pandava army being revealed is spreading in an incognito way. The influence of the Pandava army being revealed is spreading in an incognito way. The form of service will definitely change according to the time and according to the service. Nowadays, scientists concentrate on creating quality rather than quantity. They are making everything very minute so that even though something may be physically small, it has much more concentrated power within it. They have condensed the extent of sweetness into the form of a saccharine. The scientists are trying to make everything minute. They're trying to condense everything. They condense the extent into its essence. In the same way, you, the Pandav army, who are the elevated souls with the power of silence, are able to give someone the introduction through an hour's lecture. So, are you also able to remind others or give them a vision through a second's powerful drishti, a powerful stage, and benevolent and soul conscious feelings? This form of seva now we have to do that. We should be able to remind others or give others a vision through a second's powerful drishti, a powerful stage, and a benevolent and soul conscious feelings. Or are you able to give them a vision in an invisible way? You now need to practice this. In order to become instruments to do this type of service, you need two things. Now let's see what are those two things in order to become instrument to do these types of service. To what two things is Baba especially drawing your attention? Do you know what these two things are? Firstly, Baba is asking you to pay all round attention and to not waste anything anywhere. Firstly, Baba is asking you to pay all round attention and to not waste anything anywhere. And secondly, to reduce weight. These two things we need to pay attention to. Firstly, we have to pay attention and we don't have to waste anything anywhere. And secondly, we have to reduce weight. Those people tell you to reduce the weight of your body. But Bab Dada is telling you to reduce the weight of the burden on the soul. Bab Dada is telling you to reduce the weight of the burden on the soul, due to which you are unable to experience an elevated stage. Firstly, do not waste anything, and secondly, lose weight. Special attention has to be paid to both these aspects. By wasting your power and time, you are unable to accumulate. And because of not accumulating, you are unable to experience happiness or the powerful stage that you want. What happens when we waste our power and time? We are not able to accumulate. And because we are not able to accumulate, we are unable to experience happiness or the powerful stage. The task of you elevated souls is to become world benefactors. What is the task of us? The task of us elevated soul is to become world benefactors. Therefore, you should have accumulated a stock of time and power. Because when we will accumulate, then only we can give it to others. So we should accumulate a stock of time and power, not just for yourself, but also to serve many other souls. If you continue to waste, you will not experience being full. Nowadays, even the government has a budget scheme. So, you too should save something by budgeting and aiming to be economical with the time and power you use on yourself. As the government makes budget scheme, we have to make a budget scheme for ourselves for making our time and power economically useful. All souls of the entire world are the family of you elevated souls. The larger the family, the more one thinks of economizing. The larger the family, the more one thinks of economizing. Who else has such a large family as yours? Keeping all souls in front of you, do you use your time and power while considering yourself to be an instrument for unlimited service? Are you aware of your stage of a master creator? Or do you just earn for yourself? Do you use some and waste the rest of it? Are you moving along carelessly in this way? So, make a budget of all your treasures. Because we have such a huge responsibility, so we should make a budget of all our treasures. You are the souls who are carrying such a huge responsibility. So if you do not accumulate, how would you succeed in your task? Because we have such a huge responsibility, if we will not accumulate, then how we would succeed in our task? To know that everything is to happen according to the drama is an aspect of knowledge. But according to the drama, you have to be an instrument and attain your elevated attainment through serving. Everything is to happen according to drama, but we have to be an instrument and attain our elevated attainment through serving. Maintain this aim and budget all your treasures. What aim should you have for your budget? What aim should we have for our budget? Do you remember the slogan? Greater splendor through less expenditure. Kam kharch, pala nashin. So check all your treasures to see how many you have accumulated. This homework we have to do today, that we have to check that how many treasures have I accumulated and how I can make a budget scheme for using my power and time. You can only serve souls in a limited way with the accumulation of a physical account. Check yourself in every subject as to whether you are able to be an instrument for unlimited service in every subject, or whether you are only able to serve through knowledge and not through your dharana. This checking also we have to do. Check yourself in every subject as to whether you are able to be an instrument for unlimited service in every subject, or whether you are only able to serve through knowledge and not through your dharana. In order to pass fully and become an instrument for service, you need to pass in every subject. In order to pass fully and become an instrument for service, you need to pass in every subject. If you lack something in any one of the subjects, you will pass, but you will not pass fully. One is to pass with honors, and the other is simply to pass. Those who simply pass and do not pass with honors have to pass through the punishment from Dharamraj. Those who simply pass and do not pass with honors have to pass through the punishment from Dharamraj, the supreme judge. That is, they have to pass by experiencing a little punishment. Those who pass with honors will observe others pass them by. Therefore, you have to pass fully in every subject. So make a budget of every treasure and save every treasure. That is, do not waste anything. Use every second and every thought to make yourself powerful and to serve other souls. Use every second and every thought to make yourself powerful and to serve other souls. Secondly, reduce your weight. Firstly, you are engaged in finishing the burden of the accounts of the past births. But that burden is not a big thing. But after becoming a Brahmin, after being called a Brahma Kumar or Kumari, a world benefactor and a world server, if you then commit any sin, whether in act or thought, the burden of that is 100 times greater than the first burden. This is very important thing, that after becoming a Brahmin, if we commit any sin, if whether it is in act or thought, then that burden is 100 times greater than the first burden. So how careful we should be while performing every thought, every action and thinking about anything. How many such burdens have you taken on yourself due to the influence of your sanskars, nature, arrogance of your knowledgeable intellect, your desire for name and fame, for attaining some salvation for yourself, or due to carelessness and laziness? These are the reasons why we take such burdens on ourselves, because of the influence of our sanskars, natures, arrogance of our knowledgeable intellect, then our desire for name and fame, then for attaining some salvation, or due to carelessness and laziness. Always pay attention that while calling yourself a knowledgeable or serviceable soul, you do not become an instrument to perform any such acts or spread such vibrations that they would enable disservice to take place instead of service. So this attention, we need to give attention to this aspect, that whatever we do, we should perform it in such a way that there should not be disservice instead of service. Let there be service, but also remember that disservice performed once destroys 10 times as much service. Disservice performed once destroys 10 times as much service. Just as you erase something with an eraser, so disservice performed once also destroys the account of 10 times as much service. 8. Such souls might continue to think that they are doing a lot of service. Because they have an empty account, the signs of that may be visible, and 8. They parade themselves as being very clever because of their arrogance. What is the sign of this? There is no experience of power or attainment in their remembrance. There is no contentment inside. They will feel empty from inside. At every moment, one or other situation, person, or material possession becomes instrumental in making their stage fluctuate and finishing their happiness and power. The external show will be so beautiful that, because of not recognizing this, other souls will consider such souls to be happy and good effort makers. Other will see them as a happy and good effort makers. However, there is nothing inside but emptiness out of confusion. The account of name and fame is full, but the accounts of treasures and experiences are almost empty. The account of name and fame is full, but the accounts of treasures and experiences are almost empty. That is, they are just for name's sake. What other signs are there? Because of being influenced by obstacles, such souls will themselves be obstacles in service. They are called destroyers of obstacles, but they themselves become obstacles. They are called destroyers of obstacles, but they themselves become obstacles. Because the burden or weight continually increases for such souls, many types of waste thoughts and peacelessness of the mind also create many types of illness from time to time. Because the burden continually increases for such souls, many types of waste thoughts and peacelessness of the mind also create many types of illness from time to time. We will read rest of the Murli tomorrow. We will reflect on the Murli for a few minutes, and we can share our journeys.
Om Shanti. We can unmute and share. I guess Sakshi Ben has got disconnected. She's trying to reconnect. So we can start our sharing.
Okay. So, in that which I like this, Baba says, use every second and every thought to make yourself powerful and, to serve other souls. So, to get there, we have to, there is a great attention required, and also we have to become the best, which means all the wastage should go. And then every second, every thought will become powerful. Om Shanti.
Wonderful, brother. Anyone else?
The point to take home today is where Baba says we think of reducing weight, body weight, but now also focus on reducing or releasing the burden from the soul. So, what is that burden? What is that burden? The reflection is going to be old sanskars, the things that we hold on from the past. So, the reflection here was soul is such a tiny little dot, and so much of burden and waste that we overweight the soul with. So, just releasing all of that burden is the point to take home for me. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother.
Baba in today's Murli very clearly saying that as the world talks about the burden of the body, you are not a body, you are a soul. So you have to be also responsible. And as because after becoming Brahmin, you should not commit any such actions. And as because Baba is telling that after becoming Brahmin, if you do any such activities uh, against Srimat, that becomes a burden. Baba also talked very interestingly today that what that you have done in the past can be nullified. That is easy. But after becoming Brahmin, if you commit any such things, it becomes a blunder, and it will be 100 times more negative than that, and it will become really a burden for you. And as we know, as when we become heavy, we cannot fly. This is Sangam Yoga. We have to fly and fly and fly. As because what I have understood that why Baba is telling, because we are Brahmins, we become Brahmins, we have been selected by Baba, and we have taken an oath. संकल्प हमने किया है कि बाबा, because Brahmins, the first letter B talks about wafadar, that we have to be always wafadar with Baba. R for we have to be responsible, responsibility, and A for adorning ourselves with divine virtues, and the other letter H for honest, and I for that Baba, we will always be in Antah Mukta, that means Baya Mukta se Antah Mukta, that is inward journey, and M for Manmanabha Madhya Jivi, and again I for intellect, and N for Nirakari, Nirvikari, Nirankari, and lastly and finally, we have to become soul conscious. This is the responsibility, this is the oath we have taken while becoming Brahmins. So we have to follow the instructions of Baba and minimize our weight. And as our weight is minimized, we can fly and fly and fly as Baba wants from us. Okay, Om Shanti.
Wonderful, brother. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti, sister.
What a, this going beyond sound or going this, so many strategies or so many methods Baba's given down this 1977 Murli especially. And even though these two things coming down to the first one, budgeting the treasures, when he speaks about just two checks, check your treasures and check your subjects. What even I liked was this reducing weight. See, even body conscious wise, we always love to reduce our weight. That's the one thing we do when we see each other physically. Oh, you have reduced weight. Oh, you have increased weight. That's what is the consciousness, which a physical consciousness sometimes we generally share when we see each other. But here I like that one aspect of this reducing weight. Okay, fair enough. Some scars nature we can see, but this arrogance of a knowledgeable intellect. I think as Brahmins, that is too much in us. That is, I know everything. I have the perfect knowledge of the cosmos, the cycle, the destruction, everything. Everything other knowledge is peanuts. I am the one who that arrogance which I have, the which one has, I think that makes you what we say, it makes you like a floated balloon, and so much so you're not able to do. So I would lovely to deflate that arrogance of the intellect, to know, of course, I cannot say I'm zero, then that even would be lead to innocence and all. But I just was thinking about, if suppose you could share, what is the disservice Baba is saying? Because leave alone service. I don't think any one of us Brahmins would like to be an instrument of disservice. From the heart, I think we wouldn't like to be, leave alone obstacles, disservice. So could you just know, because that really attracted me, that what to do to deflate my balloon of arrogance of the intellect, so that the weight is reduced. Om Shanti.
Very important question. Anyone will like to answer?
I will share one thought. Basically, I think the service takes place. I think what Baba meant here is the service, right? So when we go on the field of service, many things takes place. So I will share one incident that happened yesterday, or last week. So where we have to go and invite some people for a program, and so when we got the direction from the surrendered sisters, so about who and all we'll have to invite, and what happens when when other people comes, right, when sisters are not there to give the directions, right, so they senior brothers over senior brothers in the sense they might be senior in their age, okay, but not in Gyan. So they might give some direction, okay, which will be different from the surrendered sisters' instructions, and they start to dominate the situation, and then do according to their wish and direction. So this is we can take it as a disservice. Why it is disservice is because we'll have to do according to Srimad. So Srimad is what Baba says. So Baba says, in the sense, we'll have to take that in direction from the surrendered sisters, how it has to be done. And why this happens is because everybody comes with a background, right? So everyone is working towards their perfection. So when we are on the field of service, when we get an opportunity, so right, we all try to take out what we have expertised, right? So when that happens, our old sanskar also comes along. So we try to dominate the situation. So I guess when that happens, not everybody goes along or together. So there will be a conflict. So end of the day, if you look at it, it is impacting the service, deviating the direction that has been given. Manmad is mixed. So therefore, it leads to disservice. That's what my understanding is. Others can share their reflection.
Okay, Bijit Bhai, I just take that one aspect of yours, what you said, deviating directions. But I would just like to share something. It's just, please take it with a pinch of salt. Whose directions? Sometimes in this, I've seen, it's just a personal opinion. Please don't generalize it. I've seen like even, there are very conflicting directions and all. For generally what I feel, when I only deviate Baba's directions or Baba's Srimad, it's there. And when you spoke about sharing and all, sometimes, the people who give lectures or the people who really share knowledge, there is a kind of saying that I'm correct. Listen to me. I'm not only I'm correct, I'm only correct. Nothing else is correct. I feel that is the arrogance of the intellect. So for a person like us, when we listen to such elderly thing and all. So I sometimes fear, I don't know whether it is a knowledgeful which they are sharing or whether it is an intellectual thing which they are sharing. So if I deviate from what they say, can it be disservice? So, sometimes you're in a very conflicting position, honestly speaking. So I don't know. I feel surrendering to the Father and just telling him, hello, I don't know what's to be done, what you have to do. I don't know. It's just an opinion of mine. Rather, as you said, surrendering to sisters and all. I don't know. A little bit I differ in that, Bijit Bhai.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just add one more point there. So there is actually a balance that which we'll have to maintain, that is of being Malik and Balik. So when we understand these 2 points very clearly, especially on the field of service, then it becomes easy where we have to become masters or masters and where we have to be child. So when there are instructions given, so then our Srimad is to follow that instruction. When we are asked to create some plans, then of course we can put that forward, in the stage of being a master. And we can, like you rightly said, we can say that this is how it has to be, and so and so. It's just a balance that we realize and then maintain it on the field of yeah. Thank you.
I think I would like to endorse to what Usha Behan has just put in the chat box. I think I would endorse that. I would put the responsibility on Baba. But, sometimes you are in a crossroad. Should I follow or should I not? That is just that point which I wanted to know. But I like that point which Usha Ben has just put in the chat box. I will put the responsibility on Baba.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother.
Actually, what sister was discussing, that the conflict starts. Basically, when there is any conflict, when there is any problem, refer the base text what Baba says. You are not a male, not a female, you are a soul. See, whenever problem occurs, there is something there that we are forgetting our base, forgetting our background. And whenever we forget our background, we start deviating from the goal. And means we are deviating from the goal that we are forgetting our basic texts. The basic text is that I am a soul and my father is Paramatma. My Atma, mere Pita Paramatma. Whenever we are soul conscious, we will never be in conflict. We'll move in the right direction. No conflict will be there. No deviation will be there. And what the Baba talks about today is that soul को burden से कम करना है. Soul भी burdenless हो जाएगा. और burden means body conscious. Nullify body conscious, become soul conscious. The soul becomes light. And Baba just put it in another way that you have to do such purusharth and become the soul should be become light, and then you can fly. Basically, soul conscious. When you're soul conscious, connected with Baba, and when connected with Baba, all the knowledge comes in, all the prem, satya, anand comes there. When you become body conscious, you are connected to Ravana, and a conflict starts. I hope that what I've understood. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother, for throwing some light.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, sister. Radhabani sister has shared that scientists create quality rather than quantity. They produce small, minute products, nanotechnology. Example, saturating. The form of service will change according to the time and according to the service. Usha sister has shared, Baba takes responsibility for the sisters. Wonderful, sister.
Om Shanti. There are
Om
two
Shanti.
aspects about economizing the power, which we are, and also at the same time we need to accumulate more power. So whatever power we have, what we receive, we must economize that by creating a budget of powers and ensure pay sufficient or special attention that we do not waste that power in unnecessary expenditures. That is one, and second is we need to be instrument for unlimited service, not just service of the ourself or own family, but I think unlimited service Baba is talking about. Go beyond yourself and go beyond even your own Lokik family. Go beyond whenever you are, and whenever we are, playing a role. The unlimited service is the subtle service which we just reflecting, no, in the that soul consciousness stage. That's the unlimited service. We are beyond even who we are, like in the role. We may be male, female, but we are beyond actually. If you go in the unlimited paradigm, we are a soul, which is basically a universal entity, and the entire world is my family, and entire world is my. We have one future to go in the golden age, and we are one. So that unlimited attitude, unlimited vision will be reflected in our drishti also, wherever we are looking at. So automatically that respect will come, the love will come. Even if a elder is giving some kind of advice, we take it very constructively without fluctuating our inner stage. And that once we give the respect, that soul also will automatically, uh, you know, reflect respect towards us also. So it all depends on the inner stage, which this Murli has given us of the what are the attention we have to pay towards creating such elevated stage as a master creator. Om Shanti.
Just adding, the Baba also said, this serving not only through the knowledge, but also through the dharana. So, that's, I think, when we understand that point, that also is ultimately leading to that unlimited service,
That's a very
because
powerful statement.
so everything that you do becomes service, because knowledge service, through knowledge, there are agyanis are also doing the same, but it becomes
Yes.
difficult to serve through your dharma. That's where you're becoming an image or practical proof of
And
what
dhar-
Baba's
and
teaching.
Vijit bhai, may I just
Yeah,
add
go
one
ahead.
reflection that dharana doesn't need sound. Dharana just needs your attitude, vision, and that will reflect the communication mode of communication in dharana is the your drishti vritti, that is the vision, attitude, and your thoughts, which are beyond sound, which no one can see, no one, they can only attain and experience.
Yeah, then one need not be on that consciousness of that I have to do service, right? You can anything that he does becomes
That is also a limited
service.
consciousness, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I have to do service, I have to do service. No, it will happen. It's automatic, it's natural, isn't it?
True. Yeah.
And second aspect, one more aspect is very interesting, which Professor wrote out by today, Bab Dada, is power density. It's power density which in in Logic world we have engines, and there is a diesel engine, then there is a gas turbine. And why do we only use gas turbine in aircraft, in a flight, aeroplanes? We only use gas turbines. Why? Because gas turbines are more power density. They have very high power density. Means a lot of power is punched, packed up in a small volume. So similar thing is like every thought, if we create, first of all, reduce the number of thoughts for any task, reducing the number of thoughts, so that will have more power concentration, less number of thoughts, and increase the power. So power divided by number of thoughts. So if we have very few thoughts but very powerful thoughts, we are actually creating a stage which is high power density, concentration or condensation of power. We can apply this in practical also. For any task, if we reduce the number of thoughts and increase the power, isn't it? Others may also please share. Om Shanti.
Wonderful formula, brother. Power density. This we can use in our daily life. Power density. Sister Girija has said that happy Bab Dada Milan. Happy Bab Dada Milan to all souls. Then Radhamani sister has said, we are all master creators. We must not misuse our treasures. Those who simply pass get little punishment from Dharamraj. Wonderful. Now let's close the session by reflecting that how we can make a budget scheme for our treasures, for that is power and time. And also we will check that are my thoughts and actions instrumental for doing service or disservice. So for 2 minutes, we will reflect on this and we can end the session. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. Happy Bab Dada Milan to all of you. See you all tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, Make a budget scheme for your thoughts and treasures. Om Shanti.